Hey Guardians, welcome back for another Destiny in-depth review where I review exotics and legendary gear, whether this is weapon or armor, in order to give you a comprehensive understanding of the gear so you can play this game as efficient and effective as possible. Today we are going to review the auto rifle The Origin Story. This is currently one of the most popular auto rifle in the game. It sits in a medium fast firing archetype, which is the 450 RPM category, and if you don't know this yet, this is currently the meta of the game. Let's go over the perks. This gun has the hit mark IS, red dot 2 MOA and the red dot microscope. I use the red dot micro to max out the range of this gun so I can negate the damage fall off as much as possible. Pendant magazine, which increases the mag from 32 to 36. Flat mag well, which increases the reload speed and stability of the gun. And Rampage, which increases the damage of this gun after a kill, which we will talk about later in this review. This gun sits in a very nice place at the moment. The 450 RPM auto rifles are dominating Crucible, and the Origin Story is one of the best in this weapon archetype. It is very balanced in terms of range, recoil and target acquisition. On the short to medium range, you won't have any problems hitting your target. It has great range and the gun is very stable. With the perks and scopes, I recommend to build on the strength of this gun by using the red dot microscope, which increases the range, and flared magwell, which does not only increase your reload speed but also adds stability as well to the gun. The perk that makes this gun special is the Rampage perk. This perk will increase the damage of this gun after a kill for a short time, and it stacks up to 3 times. But what does this perk exactly do? So let's test it out. Without proccing Rampage, you will do 23 damage to the head and 16 to the body. One stack of Rampage will increase the damage to 25 to the head and 18 to the body, and 2 stacks of Rampage will do 28 damage to the head and 20 to the body, and 3 stacks of Rampage will do a whopping 30 to the head and 22 to the body. After some thorough testing of the Rampage perk, we now know that this perk is basically the stackable version of the crowd control perk from Destiny 1. After a kill, you will get a 15% increase in damage for 3 seconds, and that can stack up to 3 times. It is pretty rare to get the 3 stacks of Rampage in PvP, since the perk only lasts 3 seconds and sometimes you will need to reload, which lets you lose precious seconds to benefit from the perk. Most likely you will be able to get 1 or 2 stacks of this perk before this runs out. But this perk does make a big difference if you are going into a 1v1 and your opponent has a similar gun. Assuming you have the same armor level as your opponent, you will win that battle if this perk is active. So this gun is great on the short to medium range, and it has great perks as well that really plays well on the strength of this gun. The only downside is that you will have a harder time with hitting your target on those longer ranges. But luckily for us, in general the maps are not that big, so typically you don't have to engage in the medium to long range. And the gun actually does surprisingly well in the long range when you compare it with other auto rifles. You are still hitting your target, but you will need to do a lot more recoil control compared with when you are on the short to medium range, which is really where the Origin Story shines. In PvE, this gun is great. The Rampage perk works especially well here, since you can easily get multiple kills within a short amount of time. In PvE, I would swap flat magwell with a pendant mag, so you have those extra bullets to deal more DPS before the Rampage perks runs out. What more can I say? This auto rifle kills stuff, and it kills stuff very well. So this gun is very well rounded. In PvP, this is my trusty workhorse, which is consistent and stable, and it is easy to hit your target as long as you don't enter too much into the medium to long range area. And that is also doing a great job in PvE as well. The Rampage perk will help you with that extra damage boost, and it is very easy to proc this when you are dealing with a lot of adds. It won't be a DPS weapon for bosses, but that is why you have your super or power weapon for. Your primary is to deal with low level enemies, and that is exactly what this gun is good at. To sum it up, the gun is a very consistent workhorse in PvP, and it does its job in PvE as well, which is slaying enemies. This gun is not crazy overpowered, but as I said, it just does its job very well. And thus, I am going to give the Origin Story a game. Thank you so much for watching this review. I know that some of us does not have a lot of time to play the game because of work, family or other things, but I hope my Destiny in-depth reviews helps you to be as efficient as possible in playing this game so you get the most out of your playing time. so subscribe to stay up to date on my future videos, and while you're here, have a look at my recommended or latest video in the end screen, and as always, I will see you in the next video, audience.